There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Carl Jung. Have you ever felt like you weren't built for this world? Like your mind operates on a different wavelength than everyone else's? You see too much, feel too deeply, think too far ahead, and instead of being celebrated for that, you're often misunderstood or even isolated. If that resonates with you, then you may be an intuitive introvert. And you may also be the very type of person Carl Jung issued one of his most profound and haunting warnings to. But this isn't just a cautionary tale. It's a wake-up call. A call to embrace your difference. A call to awaken the hidden gifts within your quiet nature. Jung didn't just warn people like you. He also laid down a path toward transformation, toward using your insight, your imagination, your sensitivity, not as a burden, but as a calling. Carl Jung, the pioneering Swiss psychologist and founder of analytical psychology, introduced the concept of psychological types. Among them was the introverted intuitive, one of the rarest and most enigmatic of all personality types. According to Jung, the introverted intuitive lives predominantly in the realm of the unconscious, in symbols, images, metaphors, and patterns of meaning that most people don't even notice. Where others see surface-level interactions, you see the invisible threads connecting everything. Where others hear words, you sense the emotion behind them. You may not always know how to explain it, but you know. You feel things before they happen. You often have gut instincts you can't prove but can't ignore. You're drawn to mystery, to philosophy, to the unseen and the eternal. But this incredible perceptiveness also comes with a cost. Jung once wrote, "The introverted intuitive is the most unusual type. He has an original way of looking at things which others do not understand. Consequently, he is easily misunderstood." That's the first part of the danger. You are different, and the world rarely makes room for those who are different. If you're an intuitive introvert, you've likely spent much of your life feeling like an outsider. You may have been told you're too sensitive, too quiet, too dreamy, or too withdrawn. You may have struggled to articulate your insights because your thoughts don't come in linear, logical steps. They come as sudden flashes, as inner knowings. And so, slowly, you may have learned to hide who you are, to dim your light, to fit in, when your soul was never meant to. Jung warned that if intuitive introverts are not careful, they can retreat so deeply into their inner world that they lose touch with reality. They may become so disillusioned with society, with its noise, its superficiality, its obsession with the material, that they isolate themselves completely. And when that happens, the very gifts that once made them unique become the weapons of their undoing. Their intuition turns into paranoia. Their imagination becomes anxiety. Their deep emotions become depression. This is what Jung meant by his dark warning. The danger is that they may be swallowed up by the unconscious. He was speaking directly to people like you. People who feel more at home in dreams than in daylight, in possibilities rather than certainties. It's a poetic way to live, but it can also be dangerous. When no one seems to understand you, when your way of thinking feels alien to the world, it's easy to start doubting yourself. And that self-doubt doesn't just kill your confidence, it can kill your purpose. But here's the truth Jung wanted you to realize. Your difference is not a mistake. It's a message. There is a gift hidden within your depth, and that gift is your ability to see meaning where others see only chaos. You are not here to fit in. You are here to see. You are here to feel. You are here to transform. Your mind is not a curse. It is a compass. And while society may not understand it yet, your job is not to wait for approval. Your job is to understand yourself and to become what Jung called an individual. That's the process of individuation, the journey of becoming your full, true self, not the self that conforms, not the self that people expect, but the self that was buried under years of rejection, confusion, and shame. Intuitive introverts are often healers, writers, artists, and visionaries, but they can also be plagued by doubt, fear, and loneliness. Jung believed this was because they lived too close to the unconscious, and without the tools to navigate it, they are like sailors lost at sea, surrounded by water but unable to drink. You may see the world's pain so clearly that you absorb it. You may dream of what the world could be, but feel powerless to change it. You may crave deep connection, but find yourself stuck in your own head. And the deeper your mind goes, the more trapped you may feel. This is why Jung emphasized the importance of bringing the unconscious to the surface. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. So how do you bring light into the dark corners of your mind? How do you avoid the trap Jung warned about? The answer lies not in escaping your depth, but in owning it. You must learn to work with your intuition, not against it. To understand that your visions are valid, even if they're hard to explain. To create space in your life for solitude, without falling into isolation. To express yourself, even if your voice shakes. To find meaning, even in the chaos. One of Jung's most powerful ideas was the shadow, the part of yourself you repress, deny, or are ashamed of. For intuitive introverts, the shadow can become overwhelming because you're naturally tuned into the unconscious. You may carry guilt, shame, or fear that isn't even yours. You may reject your own anger, sadness, or desires because they don't fit the image you've been told to uphold. But Jung taught that the shadow isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. He said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Your shadow contains your greatest potential. By confronting your hidden fears and desires, you reclaim the parts of you that were lost. You become whole. You become real. You become powerful. The world needs more people who can feel deeply and think clearly. More people who are unafraid to face their inner world. More people like you. But to be that person, you need tools. Jung suggested several practices to help the intuitive introvert thrive. First, engage in shadow work. Spend time reflecting on your inner conflicts. Journal. Meditate. Seek therapy. Don't run from your darkness. Get to know it. Second, create. Your inner world is overflowing with insights, stories, and visions. Don't keep them trapped inside. Paint. Write. Sing. Sculpt. Building speak. The act of creating is how you transmute your vision into reality. Third, protect your energy. You absorb more than you realize. Set boundaries. Rest often. Disconnect from the noise. Your solitude is sacred, but also don't isolate. Find kindred spirits, people who get you. Even one deep connection can anchor your soul. Fourth, trust your inner vision. The world may not see what you see yet, but just because your truth is not validated doesn't mean it's not valuable. Jung said, who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Awaken. And finally, serve. Your gift is not just for you. The world is in crisis. It needs wisdom, empathy, creativity. You can offer that Whether through a conversation, a piece of art, a small act of kindness, you can ripple healing through the world. Your sensitivity is your strength. Your silence holds power. Your difference is your destiny. You're not alone on this journey. Many of history's greatest minds were intuitive introverts. Carl Jung himself was one. So was Albert Einstein, who once said, "The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." Emily Dickinson, who rarely left her room, wrote poetry that transcended time. Nikola Tesla, whose visions of the future shaped our world. Virginia Woolf, C.S. Lewis, Carl Sagan. All quiet, intuitive, reflective souls who gave the world something irreplaceable. They too were once misunderstood. They too walked alone. But they persisted. And because they did, they lit a torch for you to follow. So if you've ever felt invisible, misunderstood, or overwhelmed, know this: your mind is not your enemy. It is your map. Your emotions are not your weakness. They are your compass. You were not born to conform. You were born to awaken. The path of the intuitive introvert is not easy, but it is noble. It is necessary, and it is beautiful. You are not here to blend in. You are here to build something the world hasn't seen yet. A vision, a truth, a legacy. So take this message to heart. Let it burn like a fire inside you. Remember Carl Jung's warning, and let it push you not into fear, but into purpose. The world may never fully understand you, but it desperately needs what you carry. So don't give up. Don't give in. Step out of the shadows. Speak your truth. Share your soul. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs your quiet revolution. You are the calm in the storm, the depth in the shallow, the light in the unconscious. You are an intuitive introvert, and that is your superpower.